and gentlemen, welcome to your new wrestling obsession. It is Off the Mat. I want to thank everyone who's liked, subscribed, clicked that notification, and shared this page. And if you haven't done so yet, make sure to do so before you find your way out at the end of the night. We have a ton of pro wrestling to talk tonight. We coming off the biggest Royal Rumble in history, air quotations. We've got so much WWE and professional wrestling news. We're going to be talking about backstage updates on Jade Cargill, talking about Alexa Bliss. What brand is she going to be on? Talk a little bit about Dakota Kai's return, a little bit about Roman Reigns, and is he really hurt, or is this just a story angle? That's right, one's in the air. Covering the top-selling superstars for merchandise at the Royal Rumble. We got character spotlights on our Royal Rumbles winners. We got so much to talk about tonight. But first, I got to start out by asking my man Styx, how are you doing this week, Styx? Have you enjoyed all the plethora of professional wrestling goodness we've got to enjoy this week?
I have been. I thought Raw was really good this week. We'll get into that.
Raw was really good this week, huh? It had more glitches than your internet.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say about Raw.
NXT was good to a point. AEW last night. I don't know why I'm watching it. I really don't know. And a couple of indie promotions that I've watched this week have been good. Looking forward to SmackDown tomorrow. That's it.
Have you heard about the controversy that AEW is found themselves in right now?
I have. And I think it's hilarious.
It started developing today. I didn't get a chance to get it in the news. We can talk about it right now, where they're supposed to be doing this pay-per-view-esque show in Australia, where they touted it to be this pay-per-view, and it was supposed to be at one venue, and then they couldn't sell enough tickets, so then they moved it to another smaller venue, and people are all over Reddit saying how they've spent like $4,000 to go to Australia and get hotel and tickets to the show, and now they're just saying it's going to be a regular. It's not even Dynamite. It's going to be Collision.
Yeah,
a regular Collision taping.
Yeah. So over the last month, they've been, like you said, they've been kind of toting it as being pay-per-view. Not a television tape type thing. And then all of a sudden, this past weekend, Tony Khan comes out and says, "No, we've talked to the network, and we're going to have it on the television. It's going to be right after the NBA All-Star game." Boo.
Yeah. No, thank you. So AEW is looking like a ship full of swindlers right now.
Yeah.
Tony Khan is looking more like Tony Khan Man with the ways this stuff's going. Hopefully they can figure out a way to right that ship, but right now it's not looking good for AEW.
No. A lot of people are asking for refunds or looking for them to grant
cancel
them refunds.
The show.
Yeah. I think if they started handing out refunds, that show's gonna not be happening in Australia.
Yeah, it's rough.
Unless it's the deep desert of Australia.
Rough out there in the streets for AEW.
Yeah.
But like we said, we had a full week of wrestling. Wrestling almost every night of the week. We had wrestling Friday, Saturday. Well, not Sunday, but Monday.
Not yet,
Tuesday,
anyway.
Wednesday with Dynamite. And then OVW tonight, TNA. So much wrestling.
Yeah.
So much pro wrestling goodness. But let's go ahead and get started. Our main man, Dom, is not with us tonight. He's off floating in the Gulf of Mexico or the Gulf of America, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to have it be known
the
as.
Latin American Ocean.
There you go. But we'll go ahead and get this show cooking tonight with a little bit of news, off the mat news. And our first story tonight is backstage update on Jade Cargill's WWE return. WWE superstar Jade Cargill, who has been sidelined since November, is reportedly working hard to return to the ring in time for WrestleMania 41. Cargill was written out of a storyline last year following an attack by an unknown assailant, leaving fans speculating about her return. Naomi. According to reports from SI The Takedown, Cargill has been spotted back at the Performance Center, signaling that she's actively preparing for her in-ring comeback. Sources revealed that Cargill is focused on getting cleared as soon as possible, with the potential for her making her triumphant return at WrestleMania 41 in April. Do you think we see Jade Cargill back in time for WrestleMania, Sticks?
I think we do. I think we'll probably have her either back by. I think we'll have her back by Money in the Bank.
Well, Money in the Bank would be later. Money in the Bank would
Oh,
be
that
like
after?
July.
Okay,
yeah.
What's the one? Not Elimination Chamber, but Hell in a Cell. We still doing this?
So Elimination Chamber would be our last. That's our last pay-per-view before WrestleMania.
The Elimination Chamber. Okay, there you go.
I hope she comes back, at least if she's not wrestling, something to get some sort of storyline going around, so she has something to do for WrestleMania 41. She's a massive talent for WWE. When she came over from AEW, it was a massive signing. She's an amazing person. I got a chance to talk with her and interview her a couple of years ago. I can't wait to see Jade Cargill back. I'd love to get a little angle on what the injury was, as well as who attacked her. And I think it's I think it's going to be Naomi. Or are we going to get do you think it was Naomi, or do you think we're going to get a EST heel turn, or do you think it was somebody else that we haven't even thought of yet?
I think Naomi is the most best one to choose. If they do it with Bianca, that'd be a heck of a sway for Bianca. But I could see Naomi being the instigator on that one.
Sound off in the chat and let us know who it is you think attacked Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill. Was it Naomi? Was it the EST of WWE? Or was it somebody else? But hopefully Jade Cargill is progressing nicely and we can get her back sooner rather than later.
Absolutely.
Next up on the docket, Alexa Bliss may be moving to SmackDown. And of course, there goes my Alexa again. With Alexa Bliss now back on WWE television and seemingly destined for the Raw brand, PW Insider's Elite is reporting that there have been internal discussions about moving her to SmackDown instead. Bliss was absent from Monday night's WWE Raw taping, despite early reports suggesting a return to the red brand in January. The potential move to SmackDown comes amidst the Wyatt family's shift to the blue brand, and there's speculation that WWE may revisit the original creative plans involving Bliss connection with this group. Alexa Bliss, and news broke tonight that she has signed with a talent agency where she looks to be doing more things in Hollywood. I know she has a voice acting role in an anime that Sam has talked about on Saturday nights called Sakamoto Days on Netflix. She voices a character on there. So we're going to see a lot more of Alexa Bliss inside and outside of the ring. But do you think it's the right move to have Alexa Bliss go to the blue brand and continue on with the Wyatt Six? Or do you think it would make more sense for her to kind of go back to that goddess character before she was infected or joined Bray Wyatt and kind of separate herself from the Wyatt Six?
I mean, I guess I would probably want to start her out in SmackDown with the Six. Maybe finish off that storyline with that infection. Because I can't see the Wyatt Six being too much longer. They really haven't done much. We'll see what they do with them in SmackDown going forward, I guess. But I would rather see her on Raw as the goddess character. I like her better in the singles. I don't really like her going with the Wyatt Six, but I guess
I think there's plenty. I think she'd be a perfect complement to the women's division on Raw. But going in and finishing off that Wyatt Six storyline is a maybe homage to Bray Wyatt would make sense. Maybe they can use her to creatively pull the Wyatt Six out of the slump that it's been in. And, you know, with the Bo Dallas, even with Bo Dallas, like it just seems like we've talked about it before. That group had such a strong start and then it just fizzled out. They got in this feud with The Miz and Final Testament, and then it just kind of seemed to fizzle out. Maybe the addition of Alexa Bliss, because they have that female character in Nikki Cross, but she doesn't seem to really be doing much. No. Maybe they're going to have Alexa Bliss be that wrestling aspect of it, to where Nikki Cross is just the like mystical or whatever creature.
Whatever she's
they
doing.
want to. Yeah.
Yeah. My feeling is they probably went to her and said, "We're going to put you on Raw," and I think she may have, maybe in the back, has talked him into putting her over to SmackDown to do just that, to finish off that Wyatt Six story as an homage, like you say, as an homage for Bray Wyatt.
Yeah,
So,
she came back with the same ring gear she wore when right before
yeah.
she left. New Lily doll.
Mhm.
Nice little tribute to Bray Wyatt on the back of her jacket. It was a good debut and a good showing for Alexa Bliss in the Rumble for somebody who's been out for over a year.
Yeah. For someone who's been gone as long as she did perfectly well. Agreed.
Speaking of another wrestler that seems to just keep missing time, we got an update on Dakota Kai and her potential WWE return, WWE ring return.
Mhm.
Dakota Kai is quickly one of my favorite female wrestlers. She has been since she was in NXT, but she just seems to be that always bit by that injury bug. Well, WWE is expecting to welcome back one of its stars who's been sidelined. Dakota Kai was taken off the road last month after sustaining an injury. As we previously reported, the injury occurred during the January 27th episode of Raw, where Kai and Io Sky teamed up in a tag match against Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler. It is said that Kai suffered a concussion during that match, which I'm surprised it happened in that one and not her Women's Intercontinental Championship match with Lyra Valkyria, because when Valkyria slammed her from the ring apron to the floor, you'd have thought for sure that would have been it. But
pretty good.
Yeah, PW Insider is reporting that Kai is on the verge of returning. WWE expects the Raw superstar to return on the road within the next few weeks. One source suggested that Kai could be back by the end of the month, if not sooner. Dakota Kai recently thanked fans for their support via an X post and update on her Twitch channel. So I hope Dakota Kai honestly comes back and she can stay healthy and she gets a good singles run. I really think WWE needs to end this damage control stable. I don't feel like it works anymore. I mean, look, you've got Asuka. Was hurt and now she's got these I think stalker problems or some kind of outside of the ring
She's
issues going on.
She's calling out her fans for.
Yeah. Then you got Kairi Sane, who I believe is injured.
Yes, she is.
The Dakota Kai can't stay healthy. So really the only one from that stable is Io Sky. And it just feels like this stable hasn't been interesting since Bayley was part of it. It just feels like all the momentum Damage Control had has kind of fallen to the wayside after they removed Bayley from the group.
Right. Cause they didn't put someone, like Bayley back in that position. Like no one took Bayley's position. They just put Bayley and took her out.
Yeah,
if they had put someone in that position, I think it would have been better. Like
it feels like that stable is just all Japanese wrestlers and then Dakota Kai. Like she doesn't even really fit in that stable anymore.
Yeah, like her name's kind of Japanese, I guess, but
she's quickly one of my favorite wrestlers. I would love for her to get more shine into singles gold in 2025. So hopefully she gets a speedy recovery and comes back real soon.
If she stays off of being injured, she has a very good, promising career. I'll say that.
Speaking of another injury that was sustained at Royal Rumble, is Roman Reigns really injured? We have the latest on Drew McIntyre's WWE status as well. Following his participation in the 2025 Men Royal Rumble match, WWE announced that Roman Reigns is out of action due to injuries sustained during and after the bout. However, PW Insider Elite is reporting that these injuries are not legitimate. The storyline of Reigns being sidelined is merely a narrative device. Reigns' absence is intended to explain his absence from upcoming events, with a Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins match being currently penciled in for WrestleMania 41. I don't like that. I don't like that match.
Either do I.
Because does that point to Elimination Chamber? Are we going to get John Cena? Is John Cena going to already go for 17? Like, all signs are pointing to Jey Uso picking Gunther, right? So,
yeah.
Who's Cody Rhodes going to fight? Cody Rhodes is going to fight the winner of Elimination Chamber. Well, if you've got Seth Rollins versus CM Punk versus Roman Reigns, there's three of your top guys gone right there.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have Drew McIntyre. here. It says it remains unclear whether Drew McIntyre will appear on this week's episode of SmackDown following his exit from the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble match on Saturday night, which he's been all backstage heat about, up in arms about his spot being ruined. And if you go back and watch the video, it's come out that supposedly rumors are backstage he's talking about people going into business for themselves and they're making sure they have to get their spots in. And it was supposedly a spot with LA Knight, Damian Priest, and Logan Paul, but it doesn't even look like LA Knight really interfered that much in that spot.
Right.
But PW Insider Elite is reporting that the relationship between McIntyre and WWE is not entirely severed, and the two sides quickly resumed communications after his walkout. Originally, Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest was planned for WrestleMania 41, but there is now speculation that McIntyre could be booked in a high-profile match against LA Knight, the wrestler who reportedly angered McIntyre during the Royal Rumble. Again, who's Cody facing at Mania? Is it going to be John Cena?
If you think that match is legit, and you're not going to get even if you get those guys in the Elimination Chamber, you know they're not going to win. Right. So, and that would push. I don't know.
So who is it that? I mean, speculation. Who are we not thinking of that is going to be pushed in the title picture? Because it sounds like from this report, in all intents and purposes, Roman Reigns isn't coming back to Elimination Chamber.
Right.
So it doesn't sound like he's going to be in the Elimination Chamber match. We already know John Cena has automatically power moved and had a killer promo at the end of
the media scrum.
Yeah, the media scrum after Royal Rumble, and basically said, I've done my time here. I've put in the work. I carry this company on my back. Yeah. I've never asked for anything. I've never used my position to get anything. I'm going to do that now. I'm going to look out for me. And what a quick change in attitude from the first Raw on Netflix, where he's like, 17 is not in the picture. 17 is probably not going to happen, to I'm going to get 17. Big character change. And could we potentially getting to start to see the change back to the Doctor of Thugonomics, John Cena? Who knows?
I'm not sure on that, but I do think that with the change in character, what you might be seeing is, you get Cena, he gets so close to winning the Royal Rumble and going to the WrestleMania.
Frustration.
That now he comes back and he says, you know what? I do want that title shot. I do want to be in that WrestleMania and get that 17. I want that before I leave. That's yes, he did. He said, I don't care during Raw, but now I think he cares. I think he's turned that.
I think Pete said it best last week, and thanks again to Pete and Double O for joining us last week. Him trying and failing to obtain 17 is a better story. It gives him a reason to be there. If he won the Royal Rumble, he's got no reason to show up at Elimination Chamber. This is his last ride. He's going to be at every single pay-per-view. Him constantly coming so close and coming up short in his pursuit of 17 is a great story to end his final run. And I think, it makes no sense for him to get it at Mania. He doesn't need another WrestleMania moment.
Right.
So I think it makes more sense, unless they're just going to do a throwaway and have him win Elimination Chamber, have him come to Mania, lose to Cody at Mania. Then, okay, I lost. Now it's back of the line. Well, what's the way to jump the line? I got to win the Money in the Bank. He wins the Money in the Bank, and then he holds on to that, I say, till at least SummerSlam. And then he cashes in on Cody at SummerSlam, wins the title, holds it till Survivor Series, drops it at Survivor Series, and just holds it for a little bit, and then drops it at the end of his run. That pursuit of 17 keeps John Cena in the forefront of everybody's mind. It keeps him interesting. Otherwise, his pursuit of his final run doesn't matter anymore.
No, you don't want it to fizzle out too quickly.
Right, and there's rumors. There's a lot of, you got to be careful who you listen to in the internet wrestling community, the IWC. You got to be careful who you listen to, because there's a bunch of people out there that do daily shows that are spitting a lot of nonsense Like Jey Uso is going to get fired. Jey Uso is going to have a storyline where he loses his spot in the Royal Rumble or in WrestleMania to John Cena. I don't see any of that happening. And I've not seen any credible reports of any of that thing happening. These are the same people that are sitting here telling you, oh, because Netflix Raw was so glitchy, WWE is planning to move Raw off Netflix and go back to USA Network. It doesn't work like that. They have a contract with Netflix that they have to fulfill. They can't just be like, oh, well, screw this. We're going back to USA Network. Because who's to say if USA Network was going to give them anywhere near the money Netflix was going to give them, they wouldn't want with USA in the first place.
Yeah. Just because Netflix is using the Amish internet like I do sometimes, doesn't mean they're going to switch off. Netflix will change it. Netflix will fix it. It'll be better next week.
Everyone in the IWC is great and awesome people, but you just got to be careful who you listen to and take everything with anyone says with a grain of salt.
Yeah, the internet likes to spin yarns, and what half of them are.
Yeah. The Drew McIntyre thing, it's like he still has unfinished business with Seth. Like he still has unfinished business with Roman. There's so many ways they can go with Drew McIntyre to play. And I know they were trying to have this spot with Damian Priest to have set up a WrestleMania match for them, but now like LA Knight get thrown into it. It's just, I think there's a lot of variables there, and you're just asking Drew McIntyre to drop one feud and get into another over a spot. But I guess, they say that art imitates reality. And so if he's really that mad, it makes sense to have them go against each other. But again, I don't know who I see winning Elimination Chamber now, unless it's going to be John Cena, especially if they're going to go this route of, this triple threat match at Mania with 3 of your top stars in it. You assume that Jay is going to pick Gunther. You're assuming that Charlotte is going to pick Tiffany Stratton, which I hope she does, because I don't want to see Charlotte Rhea 4. Don't need it. I don't really necessarily want to see Jay Gunther 4, but it is what it is. Unless they're going to have Jay not go after Gunther and they're going to have Jay go after Cody Rhodes. But I think the way his character's gone in him going from Raw previously saying, I can beat Gunther. I should have beat Gunther. I know I can beat him, to winning. And then he's up there just saying Gunther, Gunther, Gunther. I think Gunther's the way to go. But I don't see what is in the cards for Cody Rhodes as far as, unless it's going to be like Sami Zayn. But Sami Zayn, I think, like we were saying in our chat, that even though Sami Zayn lost that qualifier to CM Punk, I think there was going to be a losers battle royale or something for the final spot in the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
And Sami Zayn might get another roll at it. But when we get to Raw, we'll talk more about it. But it seems like there might already be a WrestleMania opponent waiting in the wings for Sami Zayn.
Right.
So, but all I know is that it seems like the Cody Kevin Owens story is done. And now, do we get Randy Orton just show up at Elimination Chamber and he wins it and faces Cody at Mania? I don't know. It seems like really the only top champion that doesn't have a clear direction right now really is Rhea and Cody. It's interesting that that's where we're at with this.
Yeah. Yeah, because like you say, I too don't want to see Charlotte go up against Rhea again. I mean, it's been a little bit because Charlotte's been out, but I think she's still kind of soft in that knee, even though she's been out. But yeah, we'll Tiffany, I'd like to see her. I'd like to see her go against Tiffany. I think that would be a great match.
We'll get to all that when we go over our Royal Rumble review, because I have a lot of feelings, as well as it seems like a lot of the internet community and IWC has, about the winners of the Royal Rumble, particularly Charlotte Flair. So we'll get into that. But speaking of the Royal Rumble, the top WWE Royal Rumble merchandise sellers, who do you think was the top merchandise seller of the Royal Rumble weekend?
On the men's, probably Jey Uso. And the women's, probably Tiffy. If she had stuff there, I'm sure they should, but I'll say Tiffy.
Well, you're wrong on both counts.
Okay.
John Cena led the charge in merchandise sales over the 2025 Royal Rumble weekend, according to Fightful Select. Sources close to Fanatics and WWE revealed that Cena surpassed Cody Rhodes, who had been the top merchandise seller for the past couple of years. Cena's success in merchandise sales was bolstered by both generic and Royal Rumble brand items, which dominated the overall sales charts. Cody Rhodes secured the number 2 spot among talent, ranking number 3 overall in merchandise sales. Jey Uso followed closely at 3rd for the talent and 4th overall. While it wasn't explicitly stated, it suggests that Roman Reigns came in at 5th overall and 4th among talent. Additionally, Alexa Bliss made a notable return and performed well in the merchandise sales, and so did Tiffany Stratton, was up there as well.
Yep.
But she did have good Royal Rumble sales.
I forgot that Cena had that Indianapolis Colt logo last ride shirt.
Mm-hmm. Well, and hats apparently.
And hats too. That was pretty nice. I should have thought about Cena. I'm not surprised. That shouldn't surprise anybody.
So,
especially since this is last year.
But speaking of surprise Royal Rumble returns, we had the return of Nikki Bella at the Royal Rumble. But with Nikki Bella back in WWE, she might not be alone for long. After making her in-ring return at Royal Rumble, Hall of Famer is now teasing that her sister Brie Bella could be stepping back into the ring with her. During an episode of Nikki and Brie's show, Nikki made it clear that the Royal Rumble appearance was just the beginning, promising fans that they would see Fearless Nikki again sooner rather than later, but the real headline came when she dropped the cryptic comment about Brie. She stated, and I quote, "Hopefully Brie Mo will be back by my side soon. More on that to come," Nikki said, leaving the door open for Brie Bella's return. This would mark Brie's first WWE match since the 2022 Royal Rumble. Since then, she takes a step back from wrestling, focusing on her family and supporting her husband, Bryan Danielson, who is currently signed with AEW. Nikki also mentioned unfinished business in WWE, naming Charlotte Flair, Liv Morgan, Bayley, and Chelsea Green as potential rivals. If Brie does return, the Bella Twins could come back in action as a team ready to shake up the women's division once again. I think we see Nikki Bella in Elimination Chamber. I think we see her in the Elimination Chamber, and she makes a play for one of the women's titles. I think the same thing with Alexa Bliss. I think she ends up in Elimination Chamber. Mm-hmm. You're going to see, I would say Jordynne Grace, but all intents and purposes, the news is that Jordynne Grace is going to spend a good amount of time in NXT before being on the main roster.
Yeah, I think that's where they signed her to, yeah.
A couple stints. Do we see Roxanne Perez in the Elimination Chamber?
I don't know.
I think it's guaranteed we're going to see Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty safe to say that any of the four women who were there at the end could make a strong play for Elimination Chamber. But what do you think of Brie Bella coming back? Do you think they're past their prime and they should just stay away? They're title chasing is what it is. It sounds like, because they announced the new Women's World Heavyweight Championship title. That's a title they've never held. I don't think, has Brie Bella ever held singles gold?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Was she a Divas champion? I feel like she might have been a Divas champion.
I think it was just Nikki.
I can't remember. I think it was a long time ago. I mean, we're talking like a long time ago if it was
almost a decade champion.
Ago. Let's see. I'm trying to see if she's ever held titles. Yeah, she's a one-time WWE Divas champion, so she was the Divas champion.
Okay. Yeah, in 2011.
But they're title chasing. They want to get that Grand Slam title. They want to hold the Women's Intercontinental title. They want to hold the Women's Tag Team titles. Like they've talked about the Bella Twins being the Women's Tag Team champions for a long time. They want to hold the Women's Intercontinental Championship. So it's title chasing, and I'm okay with it. I like Nikki. I like Brie.
Yeah,
I think Brie started really coming into her own when Nikki had her injury, and we got that whole storyline with Stephanie McMahon and what with the Daniel Bryan Road to WrestleMania stuff. So I really wouldn't mind seeing more Brie mode.
yeah. I mean, and it helps that they have good name recognition for the brand. So,
and you can't beat a little Bella booty shake, right?
oh hell no,
But,
hell no.
and what could be explained as nepotism at its finest, Ava is about to get a serious push in WWE. The real-life daughter of The Rock, whose real name is Simone Johnson, has been making waves in NXT's general manager, but now WWE is reportedly gearing up to feature her even more prominently. According to WrestleVotes Radio, WWE is putting plans into motion to evaluate Ava's role on TV, including merchandising and character ties to her father.
Okay.
Evaluate and elevate Ava's TV role. Creative has begun putting plans in motion for NXT general manager and, of course, real-life daughter of The Rock, Ava, to be featured more prominently on TV, as well as having merchandise and character ties to her father, alluding to his final boss persona. The report states, we are told plans could be including her playing off the final boss character on TV as a way to raise her importance. Ava, from all accounts, is well liked and could have a big future with the company. I like Ava in her role as NXT GM. I think she does a fantastic job. I like seeing her seeing her on TV. I don't necessarily know about her playing up her dad's final boss persona. I don't necessarily know that she has the chops or mic skills to pull that character off.
Right. I mean, they did that spot beginning of the year with The Rock and her at NXT with and where he obviously may mention this is my family, so listen to her, what she's got to say. She's in charge.
Yeah.
So that might have been the beginning of that, but I don't know about chops or not, but I think so far she's been.
What is she gonna do? Is she gonna go like full?
She's not gonna wrestle. There's no way she's.
No,
we already know she's not gonna wrestle.
She could go full Nepo baby and just be like, my dad's The Rock. He's the final boss. He's on the board of directors. I can do what I want. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. I like her in her role right now and how she's portraying the GM of NXT. I think it would be crappy to have her kind of turn heel and be like this power hungry Nepo baby-esque character and try to play off her father's coattails even more by being like, oh, well, my dad's the final boss, and so what I say goes. I just don't necessarily like that. I think she's a nice change of pace from the Raw and SmackDown general managers. It's nice to see a strong woman in that position of power. I think she handles it well. I don't necessarily care to see the Nepo baby angle played out on TV.
Right. I think she needs a little more edge to her character, but not like a full on heel.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. 100%. She could use a little bit more edge, but full on final boss.
Yeah, no.
Nepo baby angle just isn't going to cut it. So.
Right.
And our last piece of news that broke today, WWE is consistently looking to expand its reach with international venues as premium live events outside the U.S. have been very successful. WWE has been considering an international premium live event in July, and it appears WWE has plans for Money in the Bank to be held internationally this year as well. On the latest episode of WrestleVotes Radio, it was revealed that WWE has discussed hosting Money in the Bank in an international location in early July. While nothing has been finalized, WWE already has international events scheduled, including the Saudi Arabia show in June, Clash at the Castle, Paris in August. Where do you think they go for Money in the Bank? Do you think they do it in England? Germany? Kazakhstan?
Well, not Kazakhstan.
Not Kazakhstan.
Hopefully not Riyadh. Well, I don't want another
Not
one.
Riyadh.
I wouldn't mind them going back to France. I thought they did a pretty good one in France there.
Well, they are. They're doing Clash at the Castle in Paris in August. So they are going back to France.
Okay. There you go. See, they're going back to France. I don't know. Yeah, England, Scotland. Maybe more up north.
Okay. Man, Money in the Bank is one of my favorites. It's like Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, WrestleMania.
Mhm.
Money in the Bank is always an exciting match. It's a good reset after WrestleMania to kind of get you into the future storylines. I just don't know about it overseas, man. And I say that for selfish reasons because I don't want to get up any more earlier than I have to, and having to get up early to watch WWE premium live event overseas is tough. So
All right, I'm back.
I just don't know about that. But let us know in the comments, where would you like to see Money in the Bank this year? Would you like to see it in the US or somewhere international? I'm sure the international fans would love a premium live event over there, like the quality of Money in the Bank. So who knows? As long as it's not in Riyadh, because they're already getting Royal Rumble.
They're getting in 2 days in Royal Rumble
Crown
next year.
Jewels. We don't need to. I don't want to see Money in the Bank in Riyadh.
No.
I'd like to just see it, in any other country right now.
And
Nothing against Riyadh. It's again like they already have. They're getting Royal Rumble next year. They get crowned. I want to say they get crown jeweled twice a year. It feels like, so they're getting some good premium live events, and they try to do those crown jewel shows like a WrestleMania atmosphere. So I'd love to see share the wealth a little bit.
Right. I wonder if
Maybe
Money in the Bank.
Ireland would be cool.
Yeah, Ireland. I wonder if Money in the Bank had been toted for like Mexico City, but I wonder if what's going on now in with.
I think that was just rumors that was started by Bad Bunny, and then it never went anywhere. But Mexico City would be a good one as well.
Yeah.
A lot of rich wrestling culture in Mexico City.
Yes, there is.
But that is it for our news. Now we get into our reviews. So we're going to do it the way the show's aired. We're going to go review last Friday's SmackDown. We're going to talk about the Royal Rumble. Then we'll get into Raw, NXT, AEW. That's how we're going to do the review. So up first, we have SmackDown. So this was the final SmackDown before the Royal Rumble from 131 of 25. The show began with Michael Cole introducing Pat McAfee, who makes a full entrance in front of the state he previously played the NFL football in. Then we got a little interaction with Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens and CM Punk. Whole craziness. So to ensure fairness, after he invited Cody Rhodes last week, Joe Tessitore invites Kevin Owens to the ring for an interview. Kevin Owens makes his way to the ring. Tessitore assures Owens he wants him to be heard. What is being misrepresented here with him and Cody? Owens understands why he was being a little fanboy. He had to watch the others like Seth Rollins and CM Punk overlooked him by assuming they will challenge him at WrestleMania. Kevin Owens asked Joe Tessitore if he is a tough guy. He didn't want his apology. He can stick it up his ass. As Owens is about to leave, CM Punk's music hits. There's a stare down between them before Owens asks Punk if he can help him. Punk isn't here to help him. He wants to offer an apology. He shouldn't have interrupted him, and he shouldn't have overlooked him, but he should know that tomorrow when he wins the Royal Rumble. And if Owens makes it past an angry Cody Rhodes, the main event could be Kevin Owens versus CM Punk. He's letting KO know that if that happens, he's coming for him. I didn't know I needed a Kevin Owens CM Punk stare down until we got a CM Punk Kevin Owens stare down. So
that was good stuff.
In response to that, Owens says there are 29 other guys in the Rumble he likes in the Rumble more than him, and that he thought of him beating CM Punk's ass in the main event of WrestleMania is pretty good. He knows that the main event WrestleMania means to him. It's a dream he's had since he's a kid, and why it was so heartbreaking last year when he was hurt. And now he's back after his long hiatus. The idea of him never being able to invite WrestleMania or main event WrestleMania is good to him. Never getting to realize that dream would give him a warm, fuzzy feeling inside, and an old, broken CM Punk obsessed over him being a multiple-time World WrestleMania champion and main eventer of WrestleMania. With that said, Owens hopes he does not win the Royal Rumble. CM Punk replies by saying he has never lost 5 title matches in a row, nor has he ever lost to Logan Paul, and he's never tried to manipulate his best friend to help him win a title because he wasn't confident enough in his own abilities. Like I said, we had a nice little kickoff with Kevin Owens and CM Punk there. Never knew I needed a CM Punk Kevin Owens stare down until I got one. What do you think of that opening segment between CM Punk and KO?
I thought it was good. I thought it added to what was going to be going on in that Rumble, added to the Cody Rhodes match. So I thought it was good.
I mean, CM Punk is just on another level with his promos right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like his promo game just seems like every time he's on TV to just go up and up and up. And it feels like every week we're talking about a new CM Punk promo that broke the internet. So our first match of the night, which I called last week, but the stipulation I called wasn't there. We saw Jimmy Uso versus Carmelo Hayes, with Jimmy Uso picking up the win. We saw the Women's United States Champion Chelsea Green with Piper Niven take on Mi Chin and at a rematch from Saturday night's main event a few weeks ago. We saw Mi Chin picking up the win via DQ as Chelsea Green became frustrated and hit Mi Chin with a kendo stick. We saw Damian Priest make his way to the ring and grab a microphone. He has only ever known Monday Night Raw. He takes us through his journey from being nobody to a world heavyweight champion. Priest isn't trying to make a name for himself or make an impact. The aim is winning championships, and he started by winning the Royal Rumble. Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga interrupt him. We got a nice promo from Jacob Fatu, who, since no longer being attached to Solo Sikoa, is really starting to come into his own. We talked about that a few weeks ago. Fatu tells Priest he sees him. He knows what he's done. Priest has accomplished a hell of a lot more than those suckers in the back. They're all like, they both came out of the gutter and the streets. The difference is Fatu was locked down in a box. Don't ever get it twisted. You see, he is off the leash now. He is all dance. He's all dance, all gas, no break. If he thought he was making a name for himself on the blue brand, he will let him know exactly how it's going down. You either lay down or you'll put your ass down. He and Tama Tonga are running SmackDown right now. So that was a good promo there. Then we got to see Los Garzas and Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY and Pretty Deadly in a triple threat tag team match. And we got a Los Garzas and MCMG Motor City Machine Guns victory. So it wasn't really it wasn't a triple threat. It was just a 6-man tag or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. That was an all right match.
Our next match of the night, we saw Naomi with Bianca Belair versus Liv Morgan with Raquel Rodriguez. Saw Naomi picking up the victory. Then we got a Rhea Andrade appearance versus The Miz with the winner.
Fresh off his divorce.
Yeah, fresh off his divorce that seemingly nobody knew about. We got a winner. Andrade came out on top there.
Yeah.
Damian Priest had a few words with Santo Escobar before reuniting with R-Truth, who thinks this is Monday Night Raw. LA Knight shows up to ask if he's good for the tag match tonight, and Priest confirms he is. R-Truth huddles with both of them and suggests they form a team. Tiffany Stratton has an interview in the ring with Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. She feels like Nia Jax underestimated her. It isn't long before Candice LeRae enters. Tiffany betrayed Nia and herself, and it's all because she was jealous of their partnership. Enjoy whatever Tiffy time she has left, because she'll regret stabbing them in the back. Stratton doesn't care. She is the champion, while Candice is only ever being Naya's sidekick. Jax attempts to blindside Nikki, but accidentally crushes LeRae. Despite this, she gets the upper hand on Tiffy and hits her finisher on the champion, which as this spot was terrible because you see Candice LeRae mouth, okay, move, okay, move, okay, move, as Nia Jax is coming at her. And Tiffany's back is turned to Nia Jax. Terrible spot. Way to not, keep the mystique of what's going on, or the mystique of the jump up.
Yep.
When you can clearly see her say, there should have been like maybe a hand gesture, a head nod, something. But the fact that you can literally read her lips and see her say, okay, move, okay, move, okay, move, was not a good spot.
I was gonna say that, you gotta have better signals to the other person than
absolutely
telling them what to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's not what to do.
Our final match of the night saw Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga versus LA Knight and Damian Priest, with LA Knight and Priest picking up the win. Jacob Fatu ends the show by hitting Damian Priest with a Samoan drop and a moonsault. What were your overall thoughts of SmackDown on Friday, our final stop on the road to Royal Rumble?
I'm going to give it an A. But A minus. I thought it was a good show. There's a couple things that went sideways, like we just talked about with the Candice LeRae. But all in all, I thought it was a good night of wrestling.
Yeah, I got to kind of give it a B plus. The Candice LeRae stuff. They played it safe. They played it like they always do with a go home show for a big PLE. They're not going to risk anybody getting injured. They're not going to risk anything crazy. It's a very safe send off show going into Royal Rumble weekend.
Right.
Which brings us to our big event.
Talk
about the Royal Rumble and give our reviews and thoughts on the Royal Rumble. If you watched last week's show, we did a huge Royal Rumble predictions on what we thought was going to happen. We have those results tonight. And as I'm watching the Royal Rumble and I'm thinking about all the picks we made, I'm like, God, I really suck at this. I thought I was good. and I had my finger on the pulse of what's going to happen and how this is going to happen. And then I'm like, man, this sucks. I suck at this. I couldn't have called this worse. But it turns out when we got our final tallies, I didn't do half bad. So some people on this show, mainly Dom, need to get it together. But, I don't think we did half bad.
No.
But we'll go into Royal Rumble and we'll talk about, first leading us off, Cody Rhodes defeating Kevin Owens in a spectacular ladder match. Spectacular. My only complaint about this ladder match is I don't like that the end of the match happened with Sami Zayn running out there and all the officials running out there and the SmackDown GM Nick Aldis being out there to check on Cody and check on their participants in this match. Like, they should have let them fight it out and only came out if somebody was really hurt. We saw some spectacular spot. There was one point where Cody hit a ladder and laid there. I thought he was dead. Like, he was lifeless.
Yeah.
And,
when he was dropped on his back on the side of the ladder.
Yep. And then bounced off of it.
Oh yeah.
I thought he was dead there. And then when Kevin Owens got slammed on the ladder that was connected to the ring apron and the announce table, and he folded up and it was folded up inside of it and was bleeding. It was a hellacious ladder match.
I thought he was decapitated.
Yeah,
the way he folded over, I'm like, holy shit.
You could definitely tell, like, Nick Aldis was throwing up the X.
Yep.
To the corner. Cody Rhodes did exactly what he did, like a constant professional. He kind of showboated a little bit, got away from Kevin Owens as they were, tending to him, and then he climbed the ladder, grabbed both titles to claim victory. Mm-hmm. Probably one of the better ladder matches I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, in quite a while, yeah.
What did you think of that ladder match, Six?
Yeah, no, that match was a top-notch match. Good back and forth. The outside stuff was was really good. I mean, Owens really sold what happened in there, and especially that outside maneuver. And then for Rhodes to take advantage and take the belts, that was a great match.
I mean, I don't think they were selling. I think they were both beat to hell. And,
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, with what they were doing, yeah, but yeah.
And there were some initial reports coming out that Cody Rhodes sustained major injuries and that his future status is up in the air, and they didn't know if his status for WrestleMania was up in the air, but he came out on social media and said he spent the last couple of days in bed, but he's good to go, and he will be at SmackDown tomorrow night. So there's that.
No, I will say, no matter what you think of wrestling, when you take those kind of bumps, you're going to get some kind of injury.
Yeah.
No, hands down.
They were brutal. And I love the storytelling in that match, and you kind of see a little bit of Cody, little unhinged Cody, to maybe possibly, are we going to get a heel turn at WrestleMania? Are we going to see Homelander Cody coming soon? Who knows? But right now, dude, I would love to see Cody go full Homelander and go heel. But there's some people out there that make a case that Cody Rhodes has been a heel the entire time he's been back. He's a heel and pretending to be a babyface, a wolf in sheep's clothing, you may say.
Yeah.
But
okay,
I would love to see, I would love to see a heel Cody Rhodes, him just come out with the jet black hair and just go full heel, embracing it. But our tag match, our second match of the night was, or really wasn't. Well, yeah, it was the second match of the night because the first match was the Women's Royal Rumble match. The second match of the night, we saw DIY defeat Motor City Machine Guns with the Street Profits interference. This match I thought was going the way I said it was last week. If you watched it last week, you remember I said, I think something's going to happen where a spot's going to get messed up. Gargano's going to accidentally hint Ciampa. That Motor City Machine Guns was going to get, or that DIY was going to get the first pin. Then Motor City Machine Gun was going to get the next two, but there was going to be a miscommunication where Johnny Gargano hit Ciampa and they lost the titles. I thought that was happening because we saw it.
You were so close to having that be 100.
The only caveat I missed was the Street Profits coming out.
Yeah.
And Kendo sticking everybody. Everybody. You thought that they were going to, you didn't know what was going on. But they kendo sticked Motor City Machine Guns for DIY to win, and then they kendo sticked DIY as well.
I will say that the Profits came out looking pretty ripped.
Yes, they did.
Holy cow! He was 6-pack in there. I mean, he had maybe a 12-pack under there. He was looking good.
As far as this match goes, it was your pretty basic tag team match. It was kind of a letdown because both of these teams can go, and I don't feel like that energy and that storytelling was really there in this match. It was kind of just back and forth, kind of just a whatever match. This was definitely a match that could have taken place on a SmackDown or a Raw and been just as good. I don't think it was really a Royal Rumble caliber type match, and they didn't really give a Royal Rumble caliber performance. I'd much rather see DIY split up and give me Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano at WrestleMania, where just like we did when we got him on NXT takeovers back in the black and gold days. I want to see Ciampa pulling up the floor mats, pulling up the ring mats. I want to see them really go at it and reignite that feud. Now with the Street Profits, what are we gonna see at WrestleMania? A 3-way, WWE Tag Team Championship match, Motor City Machine Guns DIY versus the Street Profits, or are we just gonna get maybe we're just gonna get Street Profits versus DIY at Elimination Chamber? Who knows? But I was so close to calling that. Close.
As I was watching, like, he said that. Oh, he said that too.
So
said
close.
that. Like, then I'm like, going just like, and like, boom, pull right from under you. Like,
but what was your overall take on this match?
I'm gonna kind of agree with you that the match was kind of sluggish, I guess. Like back and forth. These two teams they're not high flyers, but they're fast movers, and I didn't think they were at their full potential for this match.
Yeah, I mean they both can
It
go.
just didn't.
We both know that they can go.
Mm-hmm.
They're like you said, they're not high flyers, but they are fast paced competitors.
Yeah.
And I expected a lot more from this match.
I did too.
And to me, it might have been the worst match of the night. But
yeah, I would say so as well.
But then that brings us into our women's Royal Rumble match, which we have the entrance order and the winner on the screen here. But for those of you listening, yes, I want to take this moment to tell you that Off the Mat is now available for your audio podcast listening needs on all of your major podcasting audio platforms. I'm talking Apple Music. I'm talking Google Play. I'm talking Spotify. I'm talking iHeartRadio. Anywhere you can get podcasts, you can now get Off the Mat for your audio listening pleasures, for your oral satisfaction, if you will.
Wow.
But we saw Io Sky #1, Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez, Lyra Valkyria, Chelsea Green, B-Fab, Ivy Nile, Zoe Starks, Lash Legend, Bianca Belair, Shayna Baszler, Bayley, Sonya Deville, Maxine Dupree, Naomi, Jada Parker, Piper Niven, Natalia, the new WWE signee Jordan Grace, Michin, the returning Alexa Bliss, Zelina Vega, Candice LeRae, Stephanie Vaquer, Trish Stratus, Raquel Rodriguez, Charlotte Flair, Julia, Nia Jax, and Nikki Bella. I think I'm the only one that maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. I want to say I think I'm the only one that called like the big three in NXT being there with Julia, Stephanie, and who am I thinking? Who am I forgetting? I don't know. I know I called Stephanie being there and Julia, and I don't think anyone else had both of them there. I did miss big time because I thought this match had a lot of NXT talent in it. And with how stacked the WWE's women's division is on both Raw and SmackDown, I feel like those spots could have went to other wrestlers instead of this NXT talent. Roxanne Perez is the other one. So yeah. I understand Roxanne Perez. Okay, I understand Julia. I understand Stephanie. Those are big names in NXT. You want eyes on those. You want people to see what they're going to do. I don't necessarily know that I would have had Jada Parker in there. I think really her name's been in the news for, funny reasons because people got too much time on their hands to worry about who's dating who and who's doing what. But, her name's been in the news, surrounded by rumors. And I don't think Lash Legend needed to be there.
Oh,
I just feel like there was an overload of NXT talent in this match that necessarily they could have brought some main roster talent in to give them a little bit more shine. But nonetheless, your overall winner was Charlotte Flair at the 27th spot. Okay. I hate this. One, because I think Triple H just has some sort of boner for Charlotte Flair because of who her father is and what her last name is. She's already a 14-time women's champion. Woo. Every time we see her, she's going after some championship.
Yep.
She's been out for a year plus from a serious knee injury. You're telling me that she's going to come back, come in at the number 27th spot, and win from the 27th spot over the likes of, and she's in the ring with women that have been doing it all year. Mm-hmm. So she's going to come back and win this match and just be beyond every other woman in this match. Are you kidding me? These stars you're trying to build you just made hurt and made look weak.
Mhm.
You're Stephanie Valcours, you're Julia, who is the NXT Women's Champion.
Yep.
You had
Yep.
Roxanne Perez being the Iron Woman of the Royal Rumble, lasting the longest in Royal Rumble history for the women. An up-and-coming star. They failed to produce any up-and-coming stars in this match. Any up-and-coming stars that they were trying to build, they essentially shit all over that by having Charlotte Flair win this match again.
Mm-hmm.
For a two-time. To be a two-time Women's Royal Rumble and get a shot at a championship after being gone over a year. What are you doing?
I don't know.
There was a point where I said in our chat, I think we booked this Royal Rumble better than Triple H did. If you go back and you listen to our Royal Rumble special last week, and I hope you do, and thank you to the 300 plus that have already listened to it, we statistically booked a better Royal Rumble than Triple H. Our Royal Rumble match picks, they had story. They continued feuds. They built on feuds. They potentially built new feuds. They made everybody look strong. They didn't have Charlotte Flair coming out and shitting all over everyone. And I see a lot of people up in arms about this. They don't like the Charlotte Flair pick, and I'm right there with them. And a lot of people said, well, what about Io Sky? I like Io Sky, but I found Io Sky's last title run very boring. Okay? I don't think Io Sky was a great choice in there. You have a new star in Jordan Grace that people are already familiar with. You could have given the shot to Jordan Grace. You could have use this as a chance for Shayna Baszler to get back on the map and get away from Sonya Deville and Zoe Stark. You could have let her be the Queen of Spades again and get back to that, but you didn't. You went with Charlotte Flair again.
Yeah.
You could have given Maxine Dupree a little bit of shine. B-Fab, Lyra Valkyria. You had the NXT Women's Champion, you had the Women's Intercontinental Champion, and you had the Women's United States Champion in this match.
Mm-hmm.
And you made them all look like crap for Charlotte Flair.
Right.
I don't get it. I don't understand it. You've had workhorses that have been working all year long in this match. These women have been working all year long, and somehow Charlotte Flair comes back and she gets to jump the line and win the Women's Royal Rumble. Yeah. I thought this was piss poor booking. Yeah. In a year where the Royal Rumble was as unpredictable as it ever's been, I couldn't tell you who was going to win the men. It was a toss-up. I said CM Punk. The only one who called the men right was Dom.
Yeah.
And I called Pete and I both, and I think Dubba and I can't remember if you did, called this because it just there's nothing else there. Like, you knew the minute Charlotte Flair was going to come in, she was winning it. There was no question. It was like last year when they were building up and telling you, well, we're going to do Cody again. Cody's going to get a redemption. Cody's got to finish his story. You knew Cody was winning the Royal Rumble again. Just like this year, the minute they announced Charlotte Flair was coming back for the Royal Rumble, it's like, it's over. Charlotte Flair is winning. And you systematically shit on every other star that you're trying to book by giving her this opportunity again.
You've already said this. The Royal Rumble should be your spot to continue whatever feuds or storylines you have going on in your TV run. It should continue here. No, hands down. Having her win. Now, first of all, she was her knee was injured so badly that she had to get a face reconstruction surgery.
Yeah.
Like every time she comes back,
she got that after the divorce.
Every time she comes back, she looks way different because she keeps going for more surgery, or for more face surgery. I don't get it. Anyway, it was not anything constructive in in how they laid out this entrance
No.
coming in. Nothing. I
It-
mean,
it-
nothing.
if she would have come in, say she comes in at the 15 spot. Say she comes in where Naomi came in, or she comes in at 20 where Mei Chin came in, and then she goes on to win. Fine, that's fine. If she had time to get her wits back about her, and get in there and wrestle and show that she was just purely dominant, then you can't disregard her win. She came in at 27th,
and there was only 6 entrants at that point, I believe.
and I gotta say, the women's Royal Rumble match was so sloppy. There was at one point there was 15 women in the ring at one time. Like, the eliminations were slow and few and far between. You had some eliminations that just didn't make sense. You didn't see them. There were mistakes, what have you. Like Nia Jax. I guess Nia Jax was supposed to have way more eliminations than she did, but that didn't happen. And it just, man, I really just feel like they missed the mark with Charlotte Flair winning this.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. So someone else on this roster right here that we're looking at should have gotten it over her.
I agree.
So,
but here's our breakdown. Thank you, Sticks, for putting this together. Our Women Royal Rumble points brackets. We saw Double O score 21 points as he correctly got 3 points for Roxanne Perez at number 4. Correct call for Zoe Stark at number 9. And Maxine Dupree at 15. And Naomi at 16. Double O had his finger on the pulse.
Yeah, he was pretty close on some of those. So where you see him getting 3 points, he was either one above or one below the actual spot that they were in.
And he got 11 points for calling Charlotte Flair the winner. He scored 42 points total on the Women's Royal Rumble. So I guess if Double O says this is where it's going to be, maybe pay attention to what he's saying, because he knows more than the rest of us.
Yeah.
But good job, Double O, on that. 42 points total on that. Then we move into Pete, our other guest, Pete. He correctly got 3 points for Io Sky at 2, Lyra Valkyrie at 3. And he got 11 points for the correct winner, as well as 3 points for Natalia entrance. He got 18 points and 20 points for the first 15, and then 20 for the second half, for a total of 38 points on the Women's Royal Rumble. So that's a good showing by Pete.
Job, Pete.
Then we get to my boy Sticks. Sticks got 4 points for correctly calling Candice LeRae at 23. He picked Becky Lynch to win. No points there. He got 11 points in the first 15, and then 15 points in the back half of the entrances, for a total of 26 points. Sticks, looks like you got some work to do on Guest and Rumbles, buddy.
Yeah, but I'm gonna ask this, since I did pick Becky to win. Would people be as up in arms if Becky won and not Charlotte? Or do you think it'd be the same thing?
That's a tough question.
Yeah.
Tough question.
I'm not sure.
Gut wants to say no, because Becky fights for everything and works for everything that she gets. She's not really just handed stuff. Like, look at how, when the man came around for the first time, how many hoops she had to go through. How many hoops she had to go through to be able to main event WrestleMania. Even then, Charlotte Flair was still in her spotlight, because it went from a Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey singles match to a triple threat. And so it just seems like Charlotte Flair is always hanging around some way, somehow.
So he's got her hand in that cookie jar.
Yeah, I think Becky wins. It's not, people aren't as angry as it, and we'll talk about it when they get to the men, but people are more mad about the men's winner than they are Charlotte Flair winning again.
I don't get
and that's insane to me.
I don't get
Absolutely insane to me.
Yep. All right.
But you could have had a lot, like I said, so much more talent could have been built up, and you could have made new stars instead of giving it to Charlotte Flair. Then we had Dom. I don't know what Dom was doing. He did correctly call the men's match, but in the women's match, he was swing and a miss. He had 10 points in the first 15, and then 10 points again in the back 15 for a total of 20 points.
Yeah.
Dom, I know your head was in the game. You were thinking about your cruise, but come on, man.
Yeah.
And then there's me. I started slow, really slow, 10 points in the first half. And then I came back strong with 24 points in the back half. Thanks in large part for me correctly calling Nikki Bella at 29 and Charlotte Flair as the winner.
Yep.
Yep.
Bella came in at 30, so you were one off, so that was good. But yeah. I mean, that's a good showing.
I was very as I was watching the Rumble, I was like, man, my picks are terrible. But then I was like, the back half, I was like, all right, we're coming back. So I came back for a good 34 points. What does this show us? Listen to our guests. Don't listen to us when it comes to booking Royal Rumbles, because clearly Dom sticks and I don't know.
Yeah, and on my behalf, I will say I thought they would go a little more heavy on the NXT, which they did not. I think
they went too heavy on it.
I thought they were going to go heavier than they did, but that was just me. I thought Triple H was going to try and push some of that new talent a little more. So that's where I was at.
You had the big four too. You had Roxanne there. You had Stephanie.
Mm-hmm.
You had Julia. You had Cora Jade Cargill, which I thought too was going to come back. You didn't have Cora. No, you didn't have Cora Jade. That was
no, I did not have Cora Jade. No.
But yeah, if you want to ask for,
ask Dub.
Ask Dub or Pete. But just to use this, all right, as what I'm talking about. Look how I booked this Women's Royal Rumble. All right, I had Chelsea Green at number 1. Chelsea Green right now is very overconfident. She's the Women's United States champion. She's very overconfident. She's very entitled. For her to come back and start number 1 and just have this arrogance about her that she's going to be, she's going to go from 1 to 30 and win it. She comes out. She's very arrogant. Boom. Becky Lynch's music hits. Becky Lynch returns. The man returns.
Would have knocked her down 3 pegs.
Yeah. And Becky just dog walks Chelsea Green around the ring.
Okay, that would have been. Whew.
And then you have Natalya come out. Then Naomi, Ivy Nile, Kairi Sane comes back. Then Chelsea gets her help with Piper Niven. Piper, at that point, we should have had at least 3 Natalya should have probably gone out. Kairi Sane should have, Piper Niven should have come out and had a few eliminations.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get, I know I had somebody at number 8, but Dubba didn't put it in there. Who did I have at number 8? Zoe Stark at number 8.
Okay.
Zoe Stark comes in there, then Nia Jax. And then you have Jade Cargill come in, and then she goes after Naomi to tell you that story that Naomi is the one that attacked her. Then you have Lyra Valkyria, Liv Morgan. She's had issues with Nia Jax. B-Fab, Raquel comes in to help Liv. Then you have Jordan Grace, and you could have had a stare down between the monster Jordan Grace, Piper Niven, and Nia Jax. That would have been, and Jade Cargill. You could have had monsters in the ring going at it for a while. Then you get Bianca. There's substance, there's story, there's continued storylines, continued feuds, even in the way all of us have booked it. So I feel like, other than Dom, who said Cora Jade was going to be you said Cora Jade was going to be number 1. You did have Cora Jade.
Did I?
On there.
Where is she?
You had her coming in at number 1.
Yeah, I had her at 1. Okay. Yep.
I don't know. I just feel like I said, this could have been booked way better. Then we get to the men's Royal Rumble. Saw Rey Mysterio, and I knew the minute Rey Mysterio was number 1 who they were going to make number 2.
That was a good beginning.
It was a very good beginning.
Yeah.
It had story. Chad Gable is been enthralled where he's going off to learn the dark arts of Lucha Libre. Whatever that is. He can't beat Lucha Libre. He can't beat luchadors. You have him in the ring with 2 of WWE's top luchadors in the first 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Carmelo Hayes, Santos Escobar. Now he's in the ring with 3 luchadors.
Mm-hmm.
Santos Escobar, Penta, and Rey Mysterio. And Carmelo Hayes, who can go. He's got like an overdrive gear.
Yep.
Then you had Otis, Braun Breaker. We get to the spot that simultaneously was not needed and wasted, but gave us probably the greatest WrestleMania Royal Rumble moment in recent history. I show Speed at number 8.
Yeah.
All right. When Tozawa was coming out and got taken out, I was like, here we go. Here we go. Here comes my prediction of The Rock coming out at 31 to screw over everybody and win this Rumble, right? How wrong was I? I show Speed comes out.
I don't even know who this guy is.
I show Speed, he's a streamer, comes out, gets in the ring, shows a little flair, helps Braun Breaker get an elimination. He's chanting and cheering. Braun Breaker's chanting him on. Then you see Breaker hit the ropes. I was like, this isn't going to be good.
Speed does that nice standing backflip.
Backflip, yep. And as he's doing it, you see Breaker hitting the ropes. And then Breaker just spears his soul out of his body.
You ever see a man fold in half? Yeah, right there.
My God. That spear, the velocity on that spear. But it was a perfect spear because he hit him in the right area to make sure he didn't break ribs, protect him. It was an amazing spear. Braun Breaker had 2 amazing spears in this match, and one of them was on Roman Reigns.
Yes.
But my God, if he did not spear the soul out of ISHO Speed, speared him so hard that ISHO Speed came out on Monday and said, I'm not going back to WWE ever again. He's done. He got RKO'd by Randy Orton, and then now he gets his spirit speared out of his body by old Braun Breaker.
I should have put in that the tops card they had of him with the crutches and the neck brace and
They're saying that his 1-of-1 tops card of Braun Breaker holding him in the air is a $10,000 card.
Oh my God.
Insanity. But so not only was his spirit speared out of his body, he was then thrown outside of the ring where he was caught by Otis. Then Otis proceeds to just toss him to the announce table. And so Speed makes his way to the back, and later on you find out that he's got a huge chunk of his leg missing.
I got one thing to say at this spot. We got the best one-liner from Michael Cole. Are you okay, sir?
Yeah. Yes.
Are you okay, sir?
Yes. Dude. Again, unnecessarily wasted spot, but best moment of the night.
It was, I don't know if it's a wasted spot, but it's a spot that at least they used it for a moment.
But then we got Sheamus, Jimmy Uso, Andrade, Jacob Fatu, Ludwig Kaiser, which, Kaiser got eliminated real quick by Penta. He thought he was going to be slick and slow play it, and they were debating whether or not he beat Santino's record. Then at number 15, we got Mr. Say His Name, and he appears, Joe Hendry, which, again, they kind of screwed him over. I think they could have made him look a little bit stronger. He is the TNA World Champion. For him to go up against and not even stand a chance against Roman Reigns just kind of shows you that WWE is still in the business of making their people look better than anyone from TNA. But what are you going to do? You had Roman Reigns at 16, Drew McIntyre at 17, Finn Balor, which I was hoping would come back as Demon Finn Balor, but he didn't. Shinsuke Nakamura, or as Styx is taking to calling him Slow Style, King of Slow Style. Then you had Jey Uso at 20, the returning AJ Styles. He's going back to old AJ Styles, including the he don't want none music. You had Braun Strowman, Braun Strowman, John Cena, CM Punk, Seth freaking Rollins, Dominic Mysterio, Sami Zayn, Damian Priest, LA Knight, and Logan Paul at 30.
Yep.
It was a good match.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that they definitely booked this with more feeling in it. There was the missed spot with Drew and LA Knight and all that, but what were you gonna say?
No, I agreed that it was a good match, and I said that they had more thought in how they planned it out.
Yeah,
in the women's.
And we got to see Seth Rollins make good on his statement of if he's ever in a match again with Roman Reigns, he's gonna stomp him. He's gonna take him out. He stomped him twice, once on the floor, then I think he did it again on the stairs. So Roman was being carted out or walked out, not knowing where he was at. Then you got your final two. You had Logan Paul getting thrown out by John Cena and Jey Uso going back and forth, with Jey Uso eventually taking home the victory and John Cena getting back in the ring, and they shared a nice moment together. And yet the IWC is in arms, screaming, "Why Jey Uso? Why Jey Uso? Why not John Cena?" We told you why not John Cena. Pete told you last week why not John Cena. Because the John Cena, he's got to be at every single pay-per-view moving forward, and you don't give him a reason to be an Elimination Chamber if he's already secured his WrestleMania main event.
Right.
Jey Uso, I thought it was going to be CM Punk. I think a lot of us thought it was going to be CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
But Jey Uso, the hardcore internet stands are why Jey Uso. Do you want to know why Jey Uso? Watch Monday Night Raw. That's why Jey Uso. Mm-hmm. The crowd was going nuts for him. They were yeeting all over themselves, yeeting all over the place. Even afterwards, they were yeeting all over the place. Yep. Jey Uso was the right choice.
Yeah.
You can make an argument that CM Punk was the right choice, but you cannot make an argument that John Cena was the right choice. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
You want to see him have trials and tribulations leading up to winning 17 before he rides off into the sunset and calls it a career. You don't want to see him get his WrestleMania main event right off the rip and then carry that title for forever. But we might still get that with Elimination Chamber, because the way they're booking Mania with this triple threat match between Rollins and Punk and Roman, and now Drew versus potentially LA Knight, or Drew versus Damian Priest, who's left for Cody other than maybe Sami Zayn, John Cena, whoever else is going to face off against Cody. My biggest fear is that they're going to lead to John Cena. Taskmaster says, I think it should be Jey versus Cena at WrestleMania. I don't know how that happens, but who knows? We have a long way to go on the road to WrestleMania, but we finally got our WrestleMania set with Jey Uso being the winner. He's put in a lot of hard work. He deserves this win, and if it wasn't Punk, I'm ecstatic that it was Jey Uso. I don't understand all the uproar and negativity from WWE fans online recently of how Jey Uso shouldn't have won. It should have been Cena. It should have been Punk. Punk's going to get his. Cena's at the end of his road. He's got to have a reason to show up to all these PLEs moving forward.
Yep.
Jey Uso was the right choice.
Jey Uso, hands down, gets that crowd more into it than just about any other superstar on the roster. When he comes out, they're all, like you say, they're all eating, they're all, he gets them all standing up and doing his stuff. So
they got Michael Cole.
Good on him for winning.
Pat McAfee yeeting. Everybody's yeeting.
Oh yeah.
Even Wade Barrett was yeeting. But
Yeah,
good
good
for
night.
Jey Uso. Congratulations to Jey Uso and Charlotte. So now we get to our men's breakdown brackets of our points. First up, we have old Double O coming through in the clutch again. 4 points for calling Joe Hendry at number 15.
Yeah.
He got 15 points in the first 15, and then he got 12 points in the back half. He called CM Punk as the winner for a total of 27 points. Pete correctly called Ludwig Kaiser at number 14 for 12 points in the first 15, and he got 16 points in the back half, as he did also call CM Punk as the winner, but got Drew McIntyre correct for a total of 28 points. My boy Sticks, a little bit better showing in the men's.
Yeah.
12 points in the first half, correctly calling Ludwig Kaiser at 14. And he got 13 points in the back half, correctly calling Damian Priest at 28. But he thought that Jacob Fatu was going to be the winner.
I had a lot of people that didn't show.
Yeah. I did too. It's all right. Xavier Woods, Obafemi,
Yep.
Pete Dunne. You know,
Yep.
people you think would be in this Royal Rumble. Bully Ray. Ethan.
He showed up on the pre-show.
Yeah, I thought Bully Ray was a good pick. Bully Ray was going to be a good
Could have
pick.
given myself a point for that.
Tamatonga.
Yeah.
But 25 points to Sticks. Our boy Dom, much better showing in the men's Royal Rumble. Correctly called Jey Uso at number 9. Oh, no, he didn't. That was Jimmy Uso. Oh, no. He called the winner. My bad. He called the winner because Jey Uso came in twice. He called the winner a Jey Uso. He's the only one that called the winner of this correctly. So he had a 21-point first 15, 9-point back 15 for a total of 30 points. And then there's me. I got 3 points, a gifted 3 points for the botch prediction.
Yeah,
I like that.
I gave you 3 points for that. That was good.
I incorrectly called CM Punk as the winner. I did not correctly call any spots. I thought Pat McAfee was going to be in there. Was not.
That wasn't a bad call because being in Indianapolis,
I thought for sure being in Indianapolis. Yeah. But here again, I
wasn't bad.
I went NXT heavy. I had Trick Williams in there. I thought Big E coming back. I did have Jey Uso at 29. Had him 9 spots too early. But all in all, I thought Demon Phil Balor was going to come back. But I got 29 points in this. I don't think it was as good as what the fuck happened to Charlotte's face. She looked 60. Plastic surgery. That's what happened.
That's what happens when you hurt your knee.
So for a total of 29 points. So our overall points, and the only person you should ask for Royal Rumble predictions if you're going to put betting money on it is, well, Double O, who came out with 69 points and the championship belt. Dom with 50, Sticks right behind him at 51. I had 61 and Pete had 66. So congratulations to Dub for winning our Royal Rumble predictions. We're going to try to do this, I think, for every PLE where we have a point system and keep track to make it a little bit more fun. It was a little bit more fun going through the entrance and being like, oh, man, I knew I got that, or I can't believe I missed that. So all in all, it was a good Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
I love the Jey Uso going over. Not thrilled about Charlotte Flair. Again, you have a chance to build stars and you drop the ball.
Yeah.
So that leads us into Raw from Monday night. Raw kicked off with Jey Uso coming down to the ring and trying to say something, but fans wanted more. That shows you right there that the right person won and went over when his music stopped and fans started chanting one more time, and he had to ask the production truck to re-hit his music so he could yeet with Cleveland all over again. That's right. Raw came to you from the city of perennial loser. If you're a football fan, Cleveland.
The Brown Stains.
Yeah. So the chance, one more Jey Uso music hit again. They yeeted. The crowd died down. They chanted, "You deserved it." After remaining speechless for a few minutes, an emotional Jey Uso thanked them for that. He doesn't know what to say. He said, "I came into the game about 15 years ago and tried to make a good living with his brother as a tag team. Jay did that, but then fast forward to the pandemic era, fast forward to the bloodline, and there were cool chapters in his career. He wasn't confident being a singles guy. He didn't have it, but coming out here tonight, he has it now."
Yeah.
Jay definitely needs a good finisher. I don't know. I think the frog splash is all right for him.
Yeah.
Gunther interrupts him and says that a match with him at WrestleMania, by him I mean Jey Uso, does not appeal because he can't even lace his boots. The world champion is a box office and is always in control. This time he refuses to do this with Jey Uso again. Does he even know what holding that means? The championship he's referring to. It means he's building a legacy for himself, and beating Jay at WrestleMania does not add to this. Wrestling a guy like CM Punk would have added something. If Jey Uso chooses him, Gunther wants something to gain from this. Every week will be hell at WrestleMania, and at WrestleMania there will be violence, and more violence than this business has ever seen. He will put Jay down like a diseased dog. Good thing he has options. So he advises Jay to consider them. Jey Uso says he has always been told what he can't be. He's only supposed to be a tag team guy. He could never main event or win a Royal Rumble. Whoever he chooses, he walks into WrestleMania as the Rumble winner, and he'll be walking out as champion. He then tells Gunther that he's going to go holler at Cody on Friday and see what Cody has to say. Good opening. Great opening. It shows you why Jay was the clear winner.
Yeah.
Our first match of the night, we saw Ludwig Kaiser versus Penta, as Ludwig Kaiser tries to avenge his 6-second elimination at the Royal Rumble at the hands of Penta.
Yep.
Penta's about to have Penta wins. He's about to have a post-match interview that is interrupted by Pete Dunne. Ludwig Kaiser blindsides Penta while he's distracted and takes him out with his finisher. Backstage, we saw Finn Balor, who's back irritated with Dominic Mysterio because he took the tag team rematch and his partner got hurt in the process. He's saying that he's asking, does Dom need a babysitter? Liv Morgan diffuses the situation by telling Finn that he has to take the match, or Adam Pearce would have given the match to another team. The War Raiders injured JD McDumbass. So that's on them. She got the Elimination Chamber qualifier, a tag team title match with Raquel, and Dominic got him an elimination qualifier. Finn Balor is happy with that and quickly calms down. Dominic did that for him as they are family.
Yep.
Then we got Charlotte Flair coming out. Oh boy, she got booed out of the building on Monday night. She got the Hulk Hogan treatment. Charlotte Flair comes out to address her Royal Rumble victory a year and a half ago. Fans booing might have bothered her, but honestly, she has missed everyone. Last year broke her mentally and physically, and there were points she didn't know if she could make it back for WrestleMania this year. She's going to embrace the boos because she loves all the fans. Whether they're wooing or booing, it does not change the fact that she's the greatest WWE superstar in the history of the industry. So boo her now. She was trying to have a moment with Cleveland, but then Rhea Ripley came out and tells Charlotte this is her show. Ripley respects her after the wars they've had. She wants Charlotte to choose her because the last time they faced each other at WrestleMania, she won. Charlotte reminds her that the first time they faced at WrestleMania, she won. Ripley reminds her she was just a kid back then. Flair thinks Ripley has jumped the gun here because she is going to NXT tomorrow to see if Julia inspires her, and then SmackDown to see if Tiffany Stratton inspires her. This proves Ripley is still just a kid. See you next week. Ripley doesn't like the comment. She pleads with Flair to pick her so the respect can be beaten into her. I like Charlotte Flair picking Tiffany Stratton. Charlotte Flair needs to pick Tiffany Stratton, but to go back to the same vein of building new stars, Tiffany Stratton needs to win that match. Charlotte needs to go put Tiffany Stratton over. Tiffany Stratton can't lose the championship this fast.
I agree. I want that match to be put on, And yeah, Tiffany needs to win that one. She has a good run in her, and beating Flair would position her pretty good.
Backstage, we saw a segment with Sami Zayn congratulating Jey Uso, where he's interrupted by Karrion Kross trying to get in his head, but Zayn tells him if he keeps getting in his face, there will be a problem. Kross doesn't mind being a problem. I'm really enjoying the Karrion Kross stuff right now. What he's doing is, like Don was saying, is kind of the devil in the background. Has been really good. We got a new Day entrance theme and video, which was good. Which we saw the New Day taking on Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee, which was and then we had Io Sky tell Rhea Ripley she may see her at WrestleMania. Liv Morgan launches a blind attack against her. Ripley gets involved, but then Raquel Rodriguez launches her over the production box. A lot of backstage activities. This week. Midway through the next match, Logan Paul entrance provided a significant distraction for Rey Mysterio, who will be wrestling next week in an Elimination Chamber qualifier. The fans chant, "Fuck you, Logan." The New Day picks up the win over Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee with an assist from Logan Paul. During the break, A-Town Down Under questions Maxine Dupree for hanging around the two losers like Timon and Pumbaa, Otis and Tozawa. An angry Otis gets in their face, and Waller tells him they are lucky they don't do business in Cleveland. We got our first Elimination Chamber qualifier match of the night. Saw Liv Morgan versus Io Sky. Liv Morgan picked up the W via disqualification after Rhea Ripley inadvertently interferes, getting Io Sky eliminated. Chad Gable is disgusted with the War Raiders for injuring JD McDonough and then running away with the titles. They tell him if his boys want a shot, they will be waiting. After the champions leave, Gable motivates his team to do better in a positive manner, saying that he's going off to learn the dark arts of Lucha Libre, and by the time he gets back, he expects American Made to be tag team champions and Ivy Nile to be a champion as well. Adam Pearce announced the newest member of the Raw roster, AJ Styles. Braun Breaker interrupts to ask what's next for the Intercontinental Champion. Let's talk business. Then we get a Seth Rollins addressing the fans. He has things to get off his chest. First, Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble and punched his ticket to WrestleMania. Rollins is proud of Jey Uso. He loves seeing good things happen to good people and brings him to CM Punk. He lost the Rumble. His WrestleMania future is still up in the air, and he got embarrassed by being dumped over the top rope by that idiot Logan Paul. As for Roman Reigns, he lost the Royal Rumble and may not make it to WrestleMania at all. Rollins tells us Reigns is hurt. That is the truth because it is him who hurt him. The past 4 years, Reigns has done nothing but hurt those close to him, and he would have done the same thing to him given the chance. Then he goes on to take shots at Drew McIntyre. He says that there are many paths to WrestleMania. His path goes through the Elimination Chamber, and he'll take care of business in 2 weeks when he takes on Finn Balor. Meanwhile, Sami Zayn needs to take care of his business, and he would like him to tell him something before the match. Sami Zayn makes his entrance, and then he listens. Seth does his best to motivate him after CM Punk told him to his face that he isn't on his level, which led us to our chamber match and our main event. If you could see it, and it wasn't glitching out all over the place, saw CM Punk versus Sami Zayn. CM Punk going over. We're finally on our road to WrestleMania. We've got our two Royal Rumble winners, so we're starting to get our road to WrestleMania path is becoming a little bit clearer. But after the match, Kevin Owens attacks Sami Zayn, drilling him with a package pile driver, which led the internet to speculate that is that going to be the end of Sami Zayn? Is Sami Zayn going to retire? It sounds like we're leading towards getting Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. So they're still going to get their WrestleMania match, even though Kevin Owens wasn't the champion. Kevin's big mad that Sammy didn't come out and help him beat Cody.
Right.
What were your overall thoughts on Raw, the first Raw after Royal Rumble?
I thought it was good. Yeah, it was glitchy.
Very glitchy. Very glitchy.
I watched it like I was like a half an hour behind. So it wasn't too bad, but even my replay was glitchy.
I was literally like, this must be what it's like to watch Sticks on any show on the internet.
Using the butter churn to make the power go. Yeah. I was fine with it. The two qualifying matches were good enough. So that was fine. It made it fine.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it is a solid B+ for me. That the qualifying matches were good. A lot of backstage segments. I don't get the whole Chad Gable Dark Arts of Lucha Libre thing. I mean, who's he gonna go learn the Dark Arts of Lucha Libre
that's
from?
the other question I have. Who do you think he would go
Maybe
to?
Aleister Black, but I don't know if Aleister Black would really know the Dark Arts of Lucha Libre. I know he knows the Dark Arts, but I don't know. Who knows? Knowing Chad Gable, it's going to be somebody ridiculous.
Right.
That leads us to NXT, which this week on NXT, we saw Stephanie Vaquer defeat JC Jane by pinfall. We saw Ridge Holland defeat Lorenzo by pinfall. Solruka and Zarya defeated Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley by pinfall. I love me some Gigi Dolan. She needs to come back up to the main roster. A-Town Down Under, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller defeated Oba Femi and Trick Williams by pinfall. That was an interesting match.
Yeah.
And then we had our little Charlotte Flair interruption where she came out and gave everybody gave everyone a compliment sandwich, essentially, to Roxanne Perez, Bayley, and Julia. And then Cora Jade showed up to attack everybody with a kendo stick. So I guess her alliance with Roxanne Perez is effectively terminated.
Gone.
I think a kendo stick attack pretty much seals that deal.
Yeah, that's not a show of good faith.
NXT, I felt like NXT was a little soft this week. NXT had left a little bit lacking. Their views are down as well for this week's episode. But listen, I think anytime you have A-Town Down Under on anything, your views are going to go down because I just do not like that team. I don't like Grayson Waller. I don't like Austin Theory. I think Austin Theory would benefit from leaving WWE and going to the indie, basically walking the same road as Drew McIntyre. He was the second. Drew McIntyre was a Vince McMahon guy picked by Vince to be the next big thing. Austin Theory was picked by Vince to be the next big thing. I know Austin Theory was big time in, the developmental stuff, but I really think Austin Theory would benefit from being released from WWE, going and working the indies, the likes of Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, Matt Cardona, and then coming back in a couple of years once he's reestablished himself.
I kind of agree.
Your overall thoughts on NXT?
I kind of give it a C. It was bare bones okay. I didn't like the A-Town Down winning. I didn't think they should have won, but everything else was just okay.
Yeah, I agree. It could have been better.
Mm-hmm.
But then that leads us to otherwise forgettable episode of AEW.
Very forgettable.
Dynamite. We saw Will Ospreay and Mark Davis with Don Callis. We saw Will Ospreay going over there. We saw Buddy Matthews and Brody King, Hounds of Hell, take a loss to the Don Callis family.
Yep. Yes.
MJF did a promo where he wants to remind us that AEW does not stand for all elderly wrestling. Now that Jeff Jarrett is out of his way, he's one step closer to reclaiming his championship. Nobody's on the level of the devil. Max Carter interrupted him. He's running away from Hangman Page, who he had words with earlier. Page showed up and runs after Caster. MJF tries talking again, but is interrupted by Dustin Rhodes, who tells him to shut his stupid trap.
Yeah.
All he does is badmouth everyone in the back, including guys who aren't around anymore, like his friend Owen Hart. He suggests MJF keep his name out of his mouth or he will kick his teeth in. Stop talking about people's past issues because he is none of those. He went straight to hell, looking the devil in the eye and kicked him in the face. MJF is not the devil. He has all the potential in the world, but he chooses to go these dark places. There's a reason he's still here, hanging with everyone on the roster. It's because he's a survivor and the last of his kind. We saw Toni Storm versus Queen Amida. And the winner was Toni Storm.
Yep.
Maria May, Toni Storm.
Yep.
Then we saw our main event was Swerve Strickland versus Ricochet, with Ricochet picking up the win over Swerve Strickland. Otherwise, forgettable AEW Dynamite.
Yeah. Lower C, upper D. The Dustin Rhodes promo was good. I thought Ricochet had a decent match. Everything else was kind of blah to me.
And it spells something when MJF has to draw that company, and he still draws, but not even a killer MJF promo can save Dynamite and what's going on there. There's no story. No. Tony Khan, it's just it hasn't been good. The best thing in AEW right now is MJF, Will Ospreay, and Timeless Toni Storm. I think the Timeless Toni Storm character is fantastic, and what Toni Storm is doing is on a level above anything she did in WWE. I think that stuff's great. That's pretty much all that AEW has going for it right now, which is sad because I'd like to see more from Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, who Young Bucks haven't been on TV for a while. And it really started to feel like AEW was just a place where old, washed up WWE guys went for one more run, and they've kind of taken over that company. You still have a couple of the main pillars, but you don't really hear much from Jack Perry anymore. Darby Allin's taking a break from AEW for a little bit, I think, to go climb Mount Everest, unless he's already done that. But you still have Hangman and Page there. But like I said, I think right now, Timeless Toni Storm, Will Ospreay, and MJF are the best things going in AEW right now.
Yeah. I mean, and I can say this every week. AEW, very promising in its beginning, but it's not where it should be right now.
Yeah, it was very promising in its beginning.
Yeah.
And they kind of hit the WCW wall where they had that streak of beating WWE in ratings, and then it just kind of flunked. And then you've got AEW talent, Jay Cargill, Penta, Ethan Page, Shawn Spears coming to WWE, and WWE is like, hold my beer, let me show you how to make a star.
Yeah.
And they've done more for Penta in the month he's been in WWE than AEW did the years he was there.
I agree.
But moving on. So Dom's not here this week, so I put together the spotlights. So we're going to do spotlights on our 2 Royal Rumble winners. And first up, we're going with main event Jey Uso. Let's go. Main event Jey Uso. Joshua Samuel Fatu, born August 22nd, 1985, is an American professional wrestler. He is signed to WWE, where he performs on the Raw brand under the ring name Jey Uso. He's a member of the Anawani family of Samoan professional wrestlers. Training since childhood by his father, WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi, Fatu debuted in 2008 before joining WWE's then developmental territory Florida Championship Wrestling, FCW, in 2010, and wrestled as Jules Uso alongside his twin brother Jimmy as the Usos, where they became FCW Florida Tag Team Champions. They were moved to the main roster later that year. While on the main roster, they have been managed by their cousin Tamina Snuka and Jimmy's wife Naomi from July 21st to June 2023. He was part of the villainous stable of Bloodline, with his first cousin once removed from the group leader Roman Reigns and his brother Jimmy and Solo Sikoa. Fatu attended and played linebacker for the University of West Alabama. Prior to his 2005 season, UWA head football coach Sam McCork cited in a Tuscaloosa news article that Fatu would be one of the players to watch. McCorkle hoped Fatu, who was previously sat out for academic reasons, would help provide shots on defense. Unfortunately, this season didn't go as Fatu hoped it would. Realizing his football career was not heading down a desirable path, Fatu and his brother Jonathan decided to join his father Solfa Rikishi and uncle Eddie Umaga in the wrestling business. As Joshua Fatu, he made his professional wrestling debut for World Extreme Wrestling WXW alongside his brother Jonathan Fatu as a tag team called the Fatu Twins in Milton, Florida on June 8th, 2007. On December 12th, 2008, Joshua made his appearance from National Wrestling Alliance, NWA, at NWA Primetime event in Columbus, Georgia, as Josh Fatu. He was a member of a tag team called the Samoan Soldiers with his brother Jonathan. In 2009, he and his brother wrestled twice as a tag team for Extreme Championship Wrestling, XCW, and Dictator in North Richland Hills, Texas. I don't think it's Dictator. Decatur. It's
Decatur. That's right. Yeah, Decatur, Illinois.
During his time as part of the Usos, Fatu won the award for holding the record for the longest male tag team championship reign in WWE history at 622 days, which was accomplished in their fifth reign as the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champions. They were overall 8-time tag team champions in WWE, capturing the WWE Raw Tag Team Champions 3 times and winning the Slammy for Tag Team of the Year in both 2014 and 2015. In 2017, they won the SmackDown Tag Team Championships on 3 occasions, followed by a 4th reign in 2019 and a 5th reign in 2021. They are the first team to win both the Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Champions and the first team to hold them simultaneously as the undisputed Tag Team Champions. As a singles professional wrestler, Fatu has won the 2020 Feud of the Year category for his feud with Roman Reigns by the CBS Sports and has won the 2021 Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. He would later win the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships with Cody Rhodes, marking his 4th reign with the Raw Tag Team Championship and 6th reign with the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. In September 2024, he won the WWE Intercontinental Championship, his first single titles of his career. But on February 1st, 2025, Fatu won the Men's Royal Rumble. And there is your spotlight on Jey Uso. So crazy. Next up, we have Charlotte Flair. She looks good right there.
Yeah.
Before all the plastic surgery. Ashley Elizabeth Fleer, born April 5th, 1986, is an American professional wrestler. She is signed to the WWE, where she performs on SmackDown brand under the ring name Charlotte Flair. Flair is a second-generation professional wrestler, being the daughter of Ric Flair. She made her first appearance in the professional wrestling alongside her father in World Championship Wrestling in 1993. In 2012, she began training with WWE and debuted in NXT the following year. In 2014, she was named Rookie of the Year by Professional Wrestling Illustrated, PWI, and was promoted to WWE's main roster in 2015. In 2016, PWI readers voted Flair Woman of the Year and Top Female Professional Wrestler. Flair won 2 NCHSAA 4A state championships for volleyball during her time at Providence High School and was team captain and player of the year in 2004 through 2005. She attended Appalachian State University in Boone, North Carolina, playing volleyball in 2005 and 2006 seasons before transferring to North Carolina State University, where she graduated with a Bachelor's of Science in Public Relations in spring of 2008, while also being a certified professional trainer prior to becoming a wrestler. Flair was at ringside for the December 6, 2004 episode of Raw in her hometown of Charlotte, North Carolina, where Lita and Trish Stratus competed in the main event for the WWE Women's Championship. Almost 12 years later, on October 3rd, 2016, Flair herself and rival Sasha Banks would do the same, marking the third time a women's championship match main evented Monday Night Raw. Flair made her first appearance in the professional wrestling at the age of 7, appearing in a vignette with her father at the World Championship Wrestling WCW pay-per-view Starrcade 93, the 10th anniversary. In 2000, she again appeared alongside her father in WCW as part of a feud with Vince Russo and her half-brother David. On the May 15th episode of Monday Nitro, Flair appeared in a vignette in which Russo, David, and Daphne invaded the Flair home until being confronted by Flair, her mother Beth, and her brother Reed. At the Great American Bash on June 11th, Flair was at ringside for a retirement match between Rick and David after Russo attempted to interfere in the match on David's behalf, and she and her brother Reed attacked him and handcuffed him, enabling their father to go on to defeat David. On the following evening's episode of Monday Nitro, David and Russo faced Rick in a handicap match with the Flair family once again at ringside. Flair attempted to interfere on her father's behalf, but was restrained by R&B security, Russo's henchmen, allowing David and Russo to defeat Rick and partially shave his head. Charlotte Flair is a 14-time women's world champion, having held the WWE Divas Champion once, of which she was the final holder of that championship. The WWE Raw Women's Championship a record 6 times, of which she was the inaugural holder, and the SmackDown Women's Championship a record 7 times. With the later now known as the Women's World Championship, she has also held the NXT Women's Championship twice and the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship once, making her a Triple Crown champion and Grand Slam champion. Flair also won the Royal Rumble match in 2020 and 2025, becoming the first woman to win multiple Royal Rumble matches. In October 2016, she became the first woman alongside Sasha Banks to headline a WWE pay-per-view event. Her match with Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey at 2019's WrestleMania 35 was the first time that a women's match had headlined WWE's flagship event. Again, Nepo. That right there, her resume screams Nepo. 14-time women's world champion, 2-time Royal Rumble winner. First woman to be a 2-time Royal Rumble winner. She's a Grand Slam champion, Triple Crown champion. Insanity. I have nothing against Charlotte Flair, but I just think the booking of her is ridiculous. But that's our spotlight, and I'm going to hand it over to Styx because I feel like I've done enough talking in this show. I'm going to hand it over to Styx to finish the night strong with our Wrestling Time Tunnel.
Right, so let's get into the Wrestling Time Tunnel. I'm going to go back. We're going to do another series of the LJNs. Let me see here. Let's see if I can look. I'll have you move it. Go ahead and go on to the next one. Here we got, this is Series 3. This is part of Series 3. First up, we got the Andre the Giant with the short hair. Recently had a sale for $295. Yeah, it looks like Adam Sandler. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, kind of. Here we got Bobby the Brain Heenan. The first one is a variant where he's got some scrolling on his shoulders, and the other one does not. There were no sales for the variant, but the regular had a sale of $375 as of recent. And the last one there is Bruno Sammartino, a very classic wrestler. There was no mint carded figure, so there was only a loose sale at $89.99. Here we have Captain Lou Albano. The first one is a variant where the dog on the shirt has a red outline, and the other one, not a dog. The picture of him has a red outline on the shirt, and the other one's just a straight white shirt on the image. No sales on the variant, but the regular, the more found one is $239.99 sale as of recent. Next is Classy Freddie Blassie, great manager back in his day. Mint on card sale, $120. The next one, this sale surprised me. Corporal Kirchner. This one is one with the beard. This one is the variant. We'll see in the next one, the regular. It's had a sale of $2,000 as of recent for this for this one.
Who would have
kind of
thought
surprised
Corporal
me.
Kirchner would command that?
Yeah. And then here we have the regular without the beard. I think this is one I have. I don't have many of these. So this is one I do have. $111.94 on 20 bids coming out of Canada. So what's that? That's at today's rate, I think that's $45 American. $50 for closer to 50. So up next is what we got there. That's Davy Boy Smith, part of the British Bulldogs. A loose sale of $47.12. And then Dynamite Kid, another loose sale of $37.51. And this is one that you had sent me, Matt. We had a manager special of the lovely Elizabeth with the gold dress. This is a variant that had sold for $1,600.
Nice. I used to have that, not on card, but I was stupid and played with my toys.
No, you should always play with your toys when you're a kid. There's nothing being stupid there. And then the regular with the purple dress, $420 with a sale that was a loose figure. Up next is George the Animal Steel. Carded figure sold for $225.99. Jesse the Body Ventura, recent sale of $319.99. And here we have Jimmy Hart. This one is a variant. It has hearts on they're like little hearts on the megaphone. No sales on that one. And I think is there one more slide?
The Mouth of the South, baby.
Yep. I was always a big Jimmy Hart follower. I liked him. Him and Cornette, I liked them. Then this is the regular with just the purple megaphone. Regular sale, $295. Gene Okerlund, Me and Gene, a sale of $249 carded. Mr. Fuji, carded sale of $177.10. And Macho Man Randy Savage. This is the variant with the pink trunks. Sale of $599.99. And to be continued. We'll do another one of these next month. And there you have it.
Great segment, Sticks. As always, thank you for putting in all that research and time. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a good time tonight. I hope you enjoyed the week of that was professional wrestling. If you haven't done so yet, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and turn that notification on. Click that bell so you know whenever we go live every Thursday night right here for another great episode of Off the Mat. Leave us a comment down below. Let us know if you think WWE got it right with the Royal Rumble winners, whether they got it right with the men or the women. Should Charlotte Flair win over? Let us know in the comment section below, as it goes a long way to help us out with the algorithm. And as always, if you want to see our predictions from last week on who is going to be the Royal Rumble and our whole Royal Rumble content, you can do so at the end of this video by clicking one of the links. If you want to check out more from Pete and Dub, you can do so by checking another link and checking them out Wednesday nights on Renovision on the Tack Show. If you want more Sticks and Dom, you can catch them on Friday nights over on Renovision on the Old Man Show, as they call it, the Qualified. You can also see Sticks with me every Saturday night for SNS over right here or on Renovision. Support both channels. And on that note, that's all we have for you. I hope you guys have a great week, and we'll see you right back here next week. And go enjoy some local professional.
In the ring, the light goes down. Roaring crowd, they scream and shout. Chants echo, shaking the ground. Warriors clash, the game is found.